It's time for Elder Law Matters Radio. Elder law issues can be overwhelming and complicated for families to deal with. Elder Law Matters will demystify all areas of elder law and estate planning through conversation, interviews, and case studies. Each week, partner Melissa Negrin-Wiener will walk you through the twists and turns of planning for your future or caring for an aged loved one. If you want to protect yourself and your family and preserve your assets, or if you're a caregiver for an aged loved one, then Elder Law Matters Radio is for you. Now it's time for Elder Law Matters Radio with your host, Melissa Negrin-Wiener.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Elder Law Matters. I'm Melissa Negrin-Wiener, partner with Cona Elder Law. And today we are talking with Amy Schiller of Faye J. Lindner Assisted Living at Gurwin. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hi, Melissa. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about Faye J. Lindner Assisted Living and some of the amenities and programs that you offer?
Absolutely. So Faye J. Lindner Residence is the assisted living community, which is a part of the Gurwin healthcare system. Just to take a step back, Gurwin, of course, offers a full continuum of care for over 30 years in the Long Island community serving senior adults, who are often considered the gold standard of care, well known for our quality and compassion at every level. So the assisted living community is part of that campus, and one of the things that makes us very unique is that we are only one. There's only one Gurwin. We're not a chain. All of our services and management are hands-on on one comprehensive campus, so our residents enjoy that benefit and comfort knowing that whatever they need, should they need it, it's all on one campus. Such as skilled nursing, short-term rehab, home care, etc. The assisted living community features 200 full apartments. Another thing that makes us unique, we have apartments, full apartments with a mini kitchen. We are going to be adding toward the end of this year, which we're very excited about, studio apartments. Through our continuing contact with the outside community, we learned that that might have been a need, so we're sort of trying to kind of go ahead and address needs in the community as things change. And, of course, we all know the aging population is exploding everywhere, and here on Long Island is no different. So we're offering different levels of size of apartments. So we do have right now 1- and 2-bedroom full apartments. We will be adding studio apartments. In addition to that, we have memory care on our campus, which offers suites. And the reason there are suites is obviously because of memory care, the type of hands-on care is very different and the access is different. So we have more of an open area with about 13 suites with a common living area in the middle. Within our memory care, what we do there is that, of course, it is a secured memory area. However, we have two options. So as people age in our assisted living community, and this is particularly true, especially if we have a couple, where couples never age at the same rate. If someone is experiencing, some level of dementia, we have something called a transition program where they can actually still stay in their assisted living apartment with their spouse, or if they live alone, and then during the day, they go to our memory care for the day program. And at some point, we then transition them to our memory care, which is called Enriched Pathways. In addition to that, we have a program for our assisted living community called the Homeward Bound program. That program started a couple of years ago, again, meeting the needs of the community. We found that some people might have been a little bit difficult or skittish about making the decision. After all, moving from a home that you've been in for a long time is certainly a big decision. I'm sure you would agree.
Absolutely.
Homeward Bound program gives an opportunity to try us. And what I like to say is all you need to do is pack a suitcase. We would provide a full furnished apartment, and we can go up to, I believe, 45 days there. And that's a great opportunity for someone to try it without really having to make any move or any plan with their current living situation. The other way Homeward Bound works really well in the world of short-term rehab, when someone is recovering, let's say, for example, from a knee replacement, and, in the current situation with the way insurance is paying, the length of stay has been shortened quite a bit. And so people are not often ready to come home to a home that often has steps. And I often say people don't realize until they get home that they can't even make it from their bedroom to their bathroom because they didn't realize that the walker they're using doesn't even make the turn. And so they They need more time. So what we do...
And just to clarify, I'm sorry to interrupt you, you mean the length of, what insurance is paying the length of stay at a rehab, correct?
That's right. So a little while back, they really cut the length of stay for a lot of typical stays, like for knee and hip replacement. And so what happened is people were just not simply ready to get home yet. And so we have a couple of options. We do have home care, of course, but the short-term stay gave someone an availability to say, you know what, I'm just, for whatever reason, it could be many reasons, I'm not ready to get back to my home, so we can alleviate that by allowing a short-term stay in our assisted living community. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's terrific. That's really great. And also, I was speaking earlier about how sometimes people are unsure whether or not assisted living is a good fit for them, and that some assisted livings do allow you to come and spend some time and see if you're comfortable before you go and sell your home. And that's really great too. What about the activities that go on in the assisted living? Do they go off campus? Do they take residents out anywhere? What does that kind of look like?
For sure. So that's a great question. I was so amazed when I got into this business just to learn how much is really going on both inside and outside the community. There is a full calendar of events internally that includes lectures and music and art, very active card games. I know gaming is very big in a lot of these communities. We also have a lot of special events. So we have a choir at Gurwin, and we actually last year had a beautiful program celebrating our anniversary where we invited family members to join, and our choir put on a very special performance. So we'll do special events and lots of celebrating going on. Very, very creative recreation team here. So there's a packed monthly calendar that everybody gets, and they have access to whatever they want. And I like to say that there's no pressure. You know, there are people that are very self-contained and like to just kind of read their newspaper and go about their day, and there are people that like to be very busy. So we have it all, and you can sort of pick and kind of choose the way you want to live, which I think makes it really meaningful. We also have a complimentary membership to the local JCC, which is down the block. We take our residents by bus, by minivan. The local JCC has also a full schedule of events, as well as a theater and a pool. And we partner with the local library as well as many other community organizations. Our residents go on weekly shopping trips, so they do local stores for errands such as the bank and the drugstore, etc. We also include monthly trips to local doctor appointments, and of course that varies by resident. I believe we offer up to 4 trips a month, and once the resident makes the appointment, we schedule the transportation.
Oh, that's terrific. Okay, that's really good. And do you do within the facility? I feel like I remember hearing about happy hour and things like that.
Yes. So we do a lot of different kind of themed events, and we have had happy hours and celebrations, and we also, I know, sometimes we tie it into the season. Like we'll do, I know last year in the winter we did something that kind of spoke to, just coming in for some hot cocoa and a sweet treat. Again, we invited families for that, and that was a great way to connect with the residents as well as the family and the staff. I think that the staff really, truly becomes like an extended part of the family.
Absolutely. How about I was talking a bit before about payment sources and what type of payment sources different assisted living take. So just so we know, for Gurwin, it's either long-term care insurance, right, or private pay?
Yeah, so typically in an assisted living community, and Gurwin is no different, the apartments are private pay. We usually look for someone to have on board, between 2 to 3 years of rent available. The thing is, Melissa, is that as we know that people are living much, much longer. When I first started at Gurwin, there was a party for the centenarians, and we had about 14 people that were 100 plus.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have a crystal ball, but we typically look for about that to get started. We do, of course, accept long-term care insurance, and as you know, that does depend on the policy relating to the activities of daily living as well as the daily benefit. But absolutely, that's a part of it. And I have also seen people that are eligible for Veterans Aid and Attendance Benefit. I would like to additionally mention that some of our residents, if the need arises, and it doesn't always happen, but if someone wants to have a private companion or aid, sometimes people do also on their own go through community Medicaid for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Live in their own private home. There's no difference there.
Yeah, I know we do that a lot for people who are residing in assisted living and perhaps need a little bit more care than not necessarily that the assisted living would provide, but just to make the family feel more comfortable. And we're able to apply for community Medicaid to help pay for the aid while still paying privately for the assisted living. So that's terrific. Okay, just real quick, we only have a couple of minutes left. Can you just talk a little bit about the very new and exciting Fountain Gate facility that is going to open?
Absolutely. So Fountain Gate Gardens, our proposed independent living community, is going to be built very soon. It's going to make us only the fourth continuing care retirement community on Long Island. We're super excited about it. You know, this concept is fairly new in New York. There's, I think, only about 12 in the state, and there's many, many in other parts of the country. So the key here is education. And I think, Melissa, you work very closely with your clients, so it's a perfect example of just kind of teaching people of what continuing care is all about and how studies have really shown how it can really enhance the quality of your life over time. And as I mentioned earlier, people are living longer, so making a plan and adding life to your years makes a lot of sense. Continuing care at Gurwin, we will offer a couple of options. There's a life care plan. It can be referred to as a life care plan or a life plan. Life plan or life care or CCRC. And basically it's independent living with access to our full continuum of care over your entire lifetime. These are beautiful apartments located in the heart of Cona with access to all the local culture, parkways, beaches, attractions, shopping. We're about 1 hour from New York City under the East End. Amenities will be very, very comprehensive: health and fitness, training, classes, culture trips, adult learning, spa, on-site concierge, wellness, elegant fine dining, etc. I think it's really, really an exciting time to be a part of Gurwin for that reason. We're really super excited about it. And as I said, we're very close to opening or to breaking ground. And when we break ground, I think we'll be up and running in about 2 years. But more important than that, we're sort of building the community before the community is built. So we have a little bit over 80 depositors that we're already doing events with and making friends and connections, and that's really exciting as well. Did you want me to go into sort of the details about sort of the nuts and bolts of the contracts and things like that?
We can actually, I would love to have you back on another podcast just to talk about the CCRC because there's so much for people to know. And I think that would be a really great topic to get that information out there because, like you said, you'll be the fourth on the island, so it's not something that a lot of people know about. So I would love to have you come back on another show just to talk about that.
I would love to do that. I mean, I think the key here is for people that are looking to really plan ahead and secure their future, both from a financial and healthcare perspective, which lots of people are taking much more stock in that, especially these days. And like I like to say, with independent living in a CCRC, there's no more steps in taxes.
Right. Like it. I like it a lot. All right, Amy, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. This is Amy Schiller from J. Lindner and from the Gurwin, group of facilities and the healthcare system, and we really appreciate you being with us today. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you again for joining us on this episode of Elder Law Matters. And please remember to check out our website at genserlaw.com and check us out on social media. We have a great social media page, Facebook page that is chock full of information. Also, if you have any questions you want to ask me directly, you can email me at melissa@genserlaw.com. Look forward to speaking with you all again soon.
Thank you for listening to Elder Law Matters, the only show that talks about elder law and estate planning. For more information, check us out at genserlaw.com.